Hey guys, if you love football, you're gonna love this. This is Gator Talk with your host Alex Perez and Adrian Green. Let's head back to the boys from the Disability TV Network studios and your host of Gator Talk, Alex Perez and Adrian Green. Take it away, boys. Okay, Adrian, we're live. Take it away, Fonda.
All right, welcome in once again to another episode 9 of the Alex Perez Show on the Disability Network. I am your guest star, Mr. Adrian Green, and I will be assisting Alex Perez in this endeavor. And we will be talking about Arkansas and the Florida Gators, in which we saw the Florida Gators drop yet again another close, tough, ugly game to Arkansas at home, which is the first loss at home all season long, in which they decided to honor the military. And a game that went to overtime, and they still couldn't pull it out. Had a chance to win it in regulation, but our kicker, Trey Smack, missed a late go-ahead field goal to end the game. Hence, the situation that we are in at this present moment. And the Gator Nation and Gator Faithful are very disappointed, but what can you say? It's a tough day to be a Gator.
It is a tough day to be a Gator. First off, how are you doing tonight, Adrian? Before we get into this debacle of a game, how are you doing tonight? As always.
We're doing fantastic. Can't complain. God has been good to us. So outside of the Gator football game, we are doing fabulous. How are you doing?
I'm trying to recover from this debacle I'm sorry, I have a little bit of the giggles tonight. This game was a bad one all the way around. I'm trying to recover from this game, which you told me it was an awful game. I've seen it on the highlights. They did it good, when it came to overtime. But when it came to overtime, I think that's when it when it all fell apart. Am I right?
Yeah. Normally with the overtime rules, you kind of want to let your opponent go first, um, because at least that way, you know what you got to do. If they score first, then you know you got to score. If they kick a field goal, then you know all you got to do is score and win the game. The Gators took the football, which I thought was a really bad decision to go first. And I mean, your defense haven't stopped them all game. Um, and it's almost like, okay, even if you do score first, do you really expect the young defense that has been out physical all game long to stop KJ Jefferson and with one single play, quarterback power and quarterback draw? And that's how they ruined the night for the Gators with quarterback draw and quarterback power. The Gators are not a physically dominant team. They are porous on the back end as defensive backs. They are young. Um, and I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but um, we just got to keep championing that same narrative. They're young. They're not as physical. They're not as big and strong as everybody else, and you just got to take the lumps and bumps that's gonna come with this season. At least the young guys getting experience. Um, I mean, there's no real point in. I mean, we could look at the stats and try and you know compare apples to tomatoes, but um, man, from the beginning of the game, it just felt like Florida was not gonna win that game from the start all the way to the finish, and they played valiantly. They battled. They showed a lot of pride. They went to war. They never quit. They kept fighting. They showed grit. Um, they did. They're just young, man. I it ain't no other way, and it's not making it's an excuse for them. It's just the Gators are really, really young on the two deep. I mean, they are so young, freshmen, sophomores, and that's just a young team. Um, they will be probably really, really good next year, and some of that will be negated by the schedule. But outside of that, this particular game, this Arkansas game, this was a game where we seen the offense look like they looked all year, inept, inconsistent, unreliable. Um, they were, I mean, it was just, it's a offense that'll make you happy, and it's one that'll make you really sad. And the defense is heckling and high jive. It's just you don't know what you're gonna get. From game to game. You know, First quarter they could be dominant, and then after that, the floodgates can pop open. So you just don't know.
They they look like to me when I watch the highlights. Um, they look like they wasn't ready to play, but but they were ready they were ready to play, but it just seemed like the offense and the the the, the defense on the both sides of the ball, they didn't show up. To me, what is your thoughts?
And I'm telling you now, outside of Trey Wilson, there's nobody, and Ricky Pearsall, there is no, and I mean, you got Trevor Etienne, but Billy Napier does not feature Trevor Etienne. For what reason? I don't know. It's like he want to involve everybody, but you don't get production from nobody but three, maybe four specific guys: Montreal, Etienne, Pearsall, and basically Trey Wilson. Trey Wilson is a game breaker, but he's a freshman. Ricky Pearsall is out the door, gonna go to the draft, and so I mean you got Montreal Johnson, but you don't know what you're gonna get from Montreal from game to game. Um, you would think that Billy would put Trevor in the passing game, screen game, running game. He's so explosive, but I guess he want to feel like he running an offense that's efficient, but the offense is so inconsistent. It's anemic. It's um, it's just so inconsistent, man. Mertz is a really decent game manager. Um, it's a few throws that he missed that game. I know he would like to have a couple of those throws back. Um, Ricky Pearsall got the ball stolen, ripped out of his arms for basically a pick six almost. Um, I mean, we lost a turnover battle 2-1. We might have, yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe we tied it up 2-2 by the end of the game, but man, it just felt like the Gators was never gonna win this game, and it hurts because if you look at the rest of the schedule, they go to LSU to next Saturday. They go to LSU at 7:30 p.m. in Death Valley. Now they may be without Jaden Daniels. I don't know. I would not expect him not to play. But even if he don't play, they got another quarterback, and his name is Nussmeier. It's Doug Nussmeier's son, and he got a rocket for an arm. It's one of the guys that Billy Napier tried to pull out of the portal, but this guy gave Billy the cold shoulder because Billy waited so long, and by the time he did, come after him, he was like, "No, I'm going to LSU. I don't care who there. I'm willing to wait my turn." And that's what really has plagued Florida for the past 5 years. Nobody's willing to wait their turn, and the coaching turnover, it has demolished, depleted the Florida Gators football team in general, and because of that, um, you know, it's paying negative dividends to the players, to Gator Nation, and everybody involved. And like I said, this was a disappointing win because the next three games they are they're against AP top 25 teams: LSU, Missouri, and Florida State. I don't know if the Gators are gonna make it to a bowl game this year, which is why they needed to win that game to become bowl eligible. But I don't think it's gonna happen. They could possibly end the year at 5-7.
Um, Partner, as you were talking, you got some notifications on your phone in the background. So I don't know if you want to repeat what you said again, because do you mind repeating what you said again, partner? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just said that I don't know if they're gonna make it to a bowl game because the next three games are against AP top 25 teams. So they may not make it to a bowl game this year.
I agree. It's this this schedule looks a little bit a little bit rough. If the Gators can manage to win these uh uh, uh if the Gators can manage these three games to come out and win, I don't know, man. It looks kind of ugly at the almost the end of the season here.
Yeah, I have no confidence in Billy Napier to pull that off this year. Get some better players in there on defense and offense next year. If he can pull some offensive linemen out of the portal, some defensive linemen out of the portal, and maybe a safety or two, then I believe in him. But until he show me he can get some elite players and actually put a team together, I don't see Billy doing well no time soon. Will if he cannot pull anybody elite out of the portal this summer, winter coming up, um, we gonna have another 5-7 or 6-6 season next year. I have
Uh,
no confidence in Billy Napier to pull off anything this year. I do not. Not with the current roster that he got. I'm not saying that as a coach he can't do it. With the roster that he got and the way he called the plays with the players that he got, Graham Mertz, he don't run at all. He's not a scrambler. He'll move to get a throw off, but he won't scramble, So I don't have any confidence in Florida going on the road, defeating LSU, um, Missouri, or beating Florida State at home. The defense is too porous. They're too young. They don't tackle well, and they give up 450 or 80 yards a game. That's a recipe for disaster. But they did good. At least they got 5 wins. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? Arkansas got 3, and one is against us. They didn't even win an ACC game yet, but they beat us. They beat us. 2-win team. A 2-win team came to Florida and kicked us in the mouth.
and, and Adrian, I I I agree with you 100%. And the Gators didn't didn't look like themselves out there. I don't know.
Well, you just lost your star linebacker too, Shamar James. So That's why I was telling you earlier in the week. I don't know what to say. I I knew it was gonna be bad. We lost two defensive starting linemen. We lost our linebacker for the rest of the year. We started freshmen everywhere. This was a disaster for recipe. I mean, a recipe for disaster. This was a recipe for disaster. It had defeat written all over it, and Billy couldn't come up with a plan on offense to help the young defense out. You help a young defense out when you know they can't stop nobody. But we can't run the ball. We can barely throw the ball. I don't expect to win many games. I don't. And if something don't change soon, I don't expect to win many games the following year as well. Max Brown, I think that's his name, the backup quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback. Um, you would think that maybe Billy would bring him in to run some kind of gadget plays or, just to get his feet wet. Yeah, Brown murks every play. Let's not get the young quarterback no snaps. So let's wait on DJ and throw him out there to the Wolves. So, but hey, who am I? I'm not the one paying Billy 52 million for 5 years. So, or is it 7 years? Maybe it's 52 million 7 years. I think it is 52 million for seven. I'm not sure. I have to look at the contract, but
No, Adrian. Um, can I comment on what you said earlier? What do you mean by you don't mean you don't you don't you don't think the Gators are gonna win many games next year?
I mean, if Billy don't bring in elite talent from the transport portal, Alex, we probably gonna win 6 games next year. Probably six. You looking at 6-6. If he don't go and do something about it, do something about the roster. Get some leaders in there. Get some help. That's what you get paid to do. It'll be another bad year. Not do something. He got to stop the bleeding. And the only way you stop the bleeding is if you go in the portal, get some grown men. You can't expect a high school player to come in and right the ship. You strip the program down to the studs. This is a total rebuild. Billy asked for 3 years before we started winning games. Is that okay with you? You want to wait 3 years before you have a winning record?
No, no. Um, I think he needs to do a better job. You know what I'm saying? Because if he don't clean up his act, then I don't know how 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 they're how how they are going to fix this Gator program. Should I give up on Billy Napier or what? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you don't have to give up on him. You just got to wait 3 years. In 3 years, he will have a really good team. The question is, are you willing to wait 2 more years? Well, this is year 2. And next year will be year 3. So, they have to wait 4 years, my brother, because we not even close. We not even close. Next year will be year 3, and he just not getting the quarterback at year 3. We might be in trouble, Alex. I don't know. I'm just telling you the truth. We don't if he don't do something in the portal this off season, it's gonna be bad, real bad. It's gonna be another year just like this one. Win a game we ain't supposed to win, lose a game that we not supposed to lose. But that's Billy Napier. He is a 500 coach. His record is not good at Florida. I think he like 29, 20 and 20 or something like that. 21 and 21. Average, just another Joe Blow with a terrible roster. Now, I do have to give him that. He did have a terrible roster. And he tried to fix it, but he just got a bunch of young guys.
Now I'm gonna uh turn on my camera here, and I want to have a face to face discussion with you if you don't mind. Hold on. Let me get my camera up here so you can see me.
I can see you now, Alex.
Okay, hold on. But if you were, let me ask you a question. And this is about Gator football. If you were a coach for the Gators, what what would you do to to fix this program? I'm just using you as an example.
I would raid. I would raid the transfer portal. I would go after every top prospect, whether it's for 1 year or 2. I would kill the recruiting trail. Every single day I would recruit. I would do just like Kirby, 365 recruit. Until you get that roster where you need it to be, you will not compete. You will not compete with the top boys in the SEC. So he got to raid, raid the transfer portal. Use your NIL, use your positions, use whatever you got to use. Hey, I need you at Florida by all means necessary. I give you an opportunity for the starting job. If you win it, it's yours. I got young players that's gonna be good. They just not ready yet. And that's what I would do. It's simple, really. It's not rocket science. It's recruit, transfer portal, period. Not it's not rocket science.
Now, if you let me ask you another question about coaching. If you if you had to hire another assistant um head coach to run the, the, the plays, like helping you out, which one would you what do you go with?
Um, the one with the best fit. The best fit. I would go with the best offensive coordinator that fit best with Florida. You do want a culture fit. You don't want no high flying offense that doesn't fit with what Florida does. I think if he can find a way to go between a spread, because his system is a spread system, but it's a spread system that just use a whole bunch of motion versus a spread system that's a true spread. So I don't think his system is a true spread. It's a spread with motion and this and that and the third. So but ultimately it's very simple. It's not there's nothing complex about Billy's offense, you know. And I'm not a offensive coordinator or anything like that, but I think that if he can go with something like what Urban Meyer did with a little bit of the veer spread and a little bit of fun and gun, I think he could have a recipe for success. But you know, that's just me. But he need an offensive coordinator, he need a special teams coach, he need one offensive line coach because two ain't getting it done. And he needs a safety coach because um I think Corey Raymond is a really good cornerbacks coach, but the secondary is struggling mightily. So he got to get Corey some help as well.
And I just wanted to mention up at the top of the show, uh, the Gator game against Missouri is gonna be on Saturday at 7:30 on the SEC network. Just to fill everybody in. You got any comment comments to look ahead?
No, I don't have any comments. I don't know who we play next. I think it's LSU and then Missouri. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
yes, we play LSU.
Yeah, so only thing I can say is let's just hope that we can go in there and have a pulse. Um, I want Billy to steal a game that he not supposed to steal. I just don't know. I mean, you you just can't trust him at this point to do anything exciting. There's nothing exciting about Gator football at this point. Um, and man, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I just hope that we can play the game and finish the season healthy and let those guys just get back to work. Just finish the season healthy. Um, that's all, man. I really just hope everybody make it out healthy, and we can start over again next year and try it again next year. You know, and so with that being said, that's pretty much all I got to say. I don't have any closing remarks. My prediction for the game is if we do win the game somehow, maybe we win it 30 because you got to go at least 30 to beat LSU. Um, maybe 34, 32. And if we lose, probably 48 to 29. That's my prediction.
Next thank thank you for your awesome work as always. I, I think this team has to play better. They have to come out with fire. They have to come out with more energy like they did at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, man. Um, um, this this year's Gator team is a is a atrocious is a atrocious. Let me say it one more time. It's not that I don't like the Gators or anything. I think they gotta play better, and 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 I think Billy Napier can turn it around eventually, Adrian. But he needs the, the staff to do it. Hire another coordinator. Hire a special teams coach, like you said. Hire somebody else to help them out. I mean, do you agree what I'm?
Yes, sir. I absolutely agree with everything that you just said. 100%.
And and this year is atrocious to be for the Gator this year in general, man. I'm kind of upset.
I agree 100% again. I share the same sentiment. I agree 100%.
And guys, this ends another episode of 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 Gator Talk with with my excellent partner, Agent Green. I am your host, Alex Perez, as always. And again, great job as always, Adrian. And I'll see you back here for episode 10 next week. Good job as always, partner, and I'll see you again next week. On be
All right.
on behalf of my partner, Adrian Green, I am your host, Alex Perez, saying until we see you guys again next time, go Gators and please hang in there, Gator fans. Billy Napier will get it together eventually.
Yep. That is a fact. So appreciate everything that you do. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to seeing you next week, Alex. Lord
Um,
willing.
and 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 bye for now, guys, and we'll see you again next week.
Yep.
Um, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me